Join me in my small garden in the Isle of Arran and see what the 10 best plants you can grow for fruit and veg in your self-sufficient garden. It's not hard, it is easy, we can do it together, and follow my journey growing these easy plants. So just want to talk about how apples really are versatile and easy. So you can get eating apples, cooking apples, and apples that are useful for making cider or juice. In fact, all of those apples are probably pretty good at making cider and juice, but just go easy on the cookers. This is an eating apple. You can get eating apples that will fruit all the way from August through to December in the UK. It's really easy to grow, and once you've either bought your apple tree for around £30–35 or grafted your own onto a rootstock, which is considerably cheaper, these will give you fruit for years and years and years. This is the top plant that I would say is the most important one for a sustainable gardener, and the fruit, I don't think I've met anyone who doesn't like apples. So apples, number one to plant even in a small garden. There's a really nice raspberry bed here, and these are autumn fruiting raspberries, but you can also get summer fruiting ones. But these are really easy to grow. See if you can beg some suckers off of a friend and plant your own. Nothing quite like fresh raspberries, and if you don't have enough at one sort of harvesting, you can pop them in a freezer bag and freeze them and just keep adding to it till you've got enough for whatever you want to do. Raspberry jam, cranachan, lots of desserts, garnish on a cake. Really, really worthwhile. And yes, these are perennials and they will come up year after year. How cheap is that? So strawberries are another plant that I just wouldn't be without in the garden. You may need to protect them from the birds, but these are a great favourite. They come up every year. And if you've got kids, this is great. You can send them to search for the elusive strawberry. Now this isn't quite right, but for you, my viewers, I'm going to try it and I'm sure it will be absolutely delicious. Sorry for the sound effects. Oh, lovely. So, strawberries. You can propagate these with the runners to make new plants and then just change them every few years. Oh, I've just seen some more over there. So I'm going to go. But strawberries are on the list. If you've got a small garden, you must be able to find room for these. So these little plum tomatoes have been grown inside a very warm polytunnel. I can't really compare them with mine that are grown outside because mine just are not as far on. But having a polytunnel or a sheet of plastic over your tomatoes if you're growing them outside is a great idea if you don't have a sunny porch or place that you can grow them indoors. Beetroot. One of my favourite things to grow. So good for you. You can cook it, you can pickle it. It is a great plant. And as I said, these young leaves you can put into salad. Peas are another crop that the person with a small garden should be growing. Yes, you've got to do them every year, but there is nothing as delicious as fresh peas. So you can wait until the pods fatten, or you can eat them small and fresh, like mange too. Grow them inside in deep little starter pots, and then get them outside, and like here, give them a couple of sticks to climb up, and they'll be more than happy. I tend to plant my peas in succession so that I can have early peas in June and keep going through into August. Now, my friend Joanne loves growing onions. I really don't understand why, because I can buy them just as cheap in the shop. But garlic is a real favourite of mine. So these ones have been harvested and they're just hanging up to dry. And then when the stalks are dry, we can plait them into a rope. So if you want to grow garlic, you can buy a head of garlic like this from a supermarket, break it into cloves and plant them as individual cloves. So have a look at how they grow. They're pretty easy and very rewarding. See, here's another one of my top favourite self-sufficient plants, the black currant. Now, currants are really easy to grow. My favourite is the black currant, but you can grow these from hardwood cuttings in the winter. Once you've got them established in your garden, they will give you fruit during the summer for years and years and years. What can you do with them? Jams, jellies, cordials, ice cream, all sorts of things. And these are brilliant. You can even dry them, desiccate them, and put them on your cereal if you were so inclined. So these are early salad leaves, and I tend to do cut and cut again leaves, and I'll sow a couple of plants and then a week later sow some more so that I've got a really good succession. I do other kinds of salads as well. So that's a kind of oak leaf type salad leaf, but there's tons you can do. And did you know that you could also use the young leaves off the top of beetroot plants in your salad and dandelion leaves? Obviously, when you pick them away from anywhere that a dog can go and do wee-wees. So I'd be really interested to read your thoughts on my top 10 fruit and veg to grow in a small garden. Comment below, tell me what you change. It is a very personal choice. There are things that are easier to grow that I don't eat. There are things that are easier to grow that I can buy just as cheap, if not cheaper, in the shops. But starting to grow your own fruit and veg, even if you have a small space, is incredibly important. It's great to reduce your food bill. It's great for your health because you know what you're planting, you know how it's growing, and it's fresh from the ground, and there's no air miles. The choices that I've made, some are perennials, so you only have to have the outlay once, and some of them are cheap and cheerful that you can grow every year. I don't regret growing my own fruit and veg. It is a journey. You know, sometimes things don't work and sometimes they do, but if you don't try, guys, you'll never know. So give it a try. Let me know how you got on, and good luck.